Good morning, my dear friend. I hope today greets you gently and gives you a quiet space to breathe before the world begins to rush. Before we start, can I ask you something that might sound simple, but goes straight to the heart? Have you ever woken up and felt that everyone else seems to be moving forward faster than you? As if the world already started the race while you're still tying your shoes? You scroll through your phone and see people speaking fluently, building careers, creating things, smiling at their progress. And you wonder when it will finally be your turn to feel the same lightness. It isn't jealousy. It's a quiet sadness that whispers, "I'm trying, but I'm still behind." That whisper can be heavy because it hides beneath your daily routine. It follows you through every unfinished sentence and every dream still waiting to happen. I know that feeling because I've lived inside it too, and it taught me something that changed the way I see progress. Growth rarely begins with a thunderstorm. It starts with a single drop of rain, a small intention, a quiet decision to keep going even when no one is watching. Improving yourself 1% each day sounds almost too simple, but it's the kind of simplicity that asks for honesty, patience, and faith. 1% isn't about doing more. It's about choosing something small and meaningful, and doing it with presence. When you read one English paragraph aloud, or repeat one phrase until it feels natural on your tongue, you're already reshaping your mind. And when you listen to one podcast and catch a new word, you're doing it again. Each of those tiny moments is a seed, invisible at first, but alive. They don't look impressive. They don't earn applause. Yet they quietly build confidence in places you didn't know existed. We often think improvement must be visible and dramatic, but the truth is that real transformation feels subtle, slow, and deeply human. It doesn't shout. It hums in the background while you make your tea, while you open your notebook, while you whisper the same word again and again until it finally feels right. Learning English or learning anything isn't only about skill. It's about learning to be kind with yourself while you're still in progress. There will be days when you have energy to study for hours, and days when you can only manage 5 minutes. Both days matter equally because they keep your rhythm alive. Every small effort is proof that you care, and caring is the real foundation of growth. When I first started teaching, I chased perfection like it was oxygen. I recorded lessons again and again, deleting them because my voice didn't sound right or one word felt off. Until one day, I realized perfection was just fear wearing a beautiful disguise. Perfection tells you to wait until everything is flawless before you begin. But progress simply asks you to start and trust that the path will teach you what you need. So if you're waiting to feel ready, maybe this is the moment to begin anyway, imperfectly, but sincerely. You don't need to master an entire language today. You just need to learn something that reminds you that you're capable. Maybe today you focus on pronunciation. Maybe you write one short paragraph. Maybe you simply listen and let the rhythm of English flow through you without judgment. These are not small acts. They are quiet revolutions. Because every time you try again, you teach your brain that effort is safe, that mistakes are part of learning, and that you can trust yourself to grow. Slow progress isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The world moves fast, but you don't have to. You're not late. You're just becoming. And becoming is a journey built from countless gentle moments that no one else can see. So take a deep breath and remember this. The small things you do today will one day become the reason you smile without realizing why. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to take one honest step forward. Start with one word, one page, one small act of faith. That's how growth begins. Quietly, beautifully, 1% at a time. There comes a moment, usually when the world feels still, when you realize that growth isn't something that happens to you, it's something you build, quietly, choice by choice. Like breathing. No one applauds for you when you show up on a slow day, but those are the moments that truly define your strength. Progress doesn't always sparkle, and discipline rarely feels romantic. Yet those quiet efforts are what shape your future self. Because the truth is, consistency is a form of love. It's how you tell yourself, I'm worth the effort, even when it's hard. Maybe you've had days when you open your book and stare at the same line. You're reading, but not really understanding. It feels like your mind is somewhere else entirely. You promise yourself you'll focus, but the words keep slipping away. And for a moment, you want to give up. But then, you take one slow breath, you whisper one sentence aloud. And even though no one hears it, that tiny act becomes your victory for the day. Because showing up imperfectly still counts. And sometimes that's what keeps your dream alive. The world often measures progress by speed, but real progress is measured by honesty. It's in the way you return after every fall, the way you begin again after each quiet disappointment. You might think your effort is invisible, but invisible doesn't mean empty. It means something is happening underneath the surface, like roots preparing to bloom. I once knew a student who practiced every morning at the same cafe. She spoke softly to herself, ordering coffee in English, even when she knew the barista already understood her. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was simply trying to grow in the smallest way possible. Months later, I watched her laugh during a conversation, completely unaware that she hadn't switched back to her native language. That's how confidence arrives, silently, like sunrise. Your journey will have seasons. Some days you'll move fast, full of energy and excitement. Other days you'll move slowly, unsure, tired, doubting. But both seasons matter, because both are part of the same garden. The flowers only bloom because the roots once lived in the dark. Discipline, when done with love, becomes peace. It stops being a battle and starts being a rhythm. You no longer ask, am I good enough? You start asking, what small thing can I do today that feels kind and real? And that question keeps you grounded when life feels uncertain. Progress is not about erasing mistakes. It's about forgiving yourself enough to keep trying. Every mispronounced word teaches your tongue something new. Every moment of confusion teaches your brain to adapt. Every time you return after failing to stay consistent, you're proving that resilience is stronger than perfection. There will be mornings when you don't feel inspired at all, when the lessons feel repetitive and the effort feels heavy. But remember, inspiration isn't what keeps you growing, habit is. The quiet act of returning to your craft, your dream, your purpose, over and over is what builds the foundation beneath your confidence. You don't need to be great every day. You just need to keep your promise to yourself. One day, without realizing it, you'll look back and notice that the version of you who once struggled to say a sentence is now speaking with ease. You'll remember the moments you almost gave up and realize they were the ones that taught you strength. You'll see that every pause, every slow morning, every gentle retry was part of your preparation to bloom. Because growth doesn't announce itself, it reveals itself quietly in who you've become. So if today feels ordinary, trust that it's still sacred. If you feel unseen, know that your roots are working. If progress feels slow, remember that slow growth lasts the longest. You are not behind. You are unfolding. Every small effort is part of your masterpiece in motion. Take one breath. Smile softly. You did enough for today. You showed up. You cared. And that's what counts. You don't have to rush your bloom. Flowers never bloom by force. They open when they're ready. And so will you. Keep your rhythm gentle. Keep your faith steady. Because 1% better every day isn't just a goal. It's a love story between who you are and who you're becoming.